Hello and happy anniversary to this, the Volkswagen Golf. For half a century, this has been the standard setting hatchback. Since 1974, 37 million Golfs have been built. And this one, the GTI, well, it has been the car that every sporty hatch has been measured against. Ever. Welcome to the garage. Subscribe to see the first drives of New Zealand's newest and best cars driven on New Zealand roads in New Zealand conditions. So a new Golf, but not a completely new Golf. Volkswagen call this the 8.5. Now, normally you could say that's just a bit of a midlife marketing trick, a refresh, but it's more than that. You see, soon after the Mark 8 was released, Volkswagen realised that the touch-sensitive buttons on the steering wheel weren't the best idea. So the buttons are back. Literally, 2 thumbs up. To be fair, they could have left it there because that was about the only thing to grizzle about. But Wolfsburg didn't stop there. In fact, they pushed go. The GTI arrives with even more power. It's not quite at club sport levels, but I'll tell you something. If this is what the stock standard GTI delivers, man, 8.5 is a magic number. Anyway, more from that drive in a moment. First, some information. This is the GTI, but a whole range has just arrived at Giltrap Volkswagen. The Life is back and priced from $44,990, an R-Line $59,990, and this, the GTI. I call it the GOAT, $67,990. Both the Life and the R-Line get 110 kilowatt turbo 4 and 8 speed autos, while now only the sporty V-dubs get DSG boxes. And the GTI is of course sporty, and in the midlife, actually it is 50, make that the middle-aged refresh, it comes with more power. With the GTI going from 180 to 195 kilowatts. That means this car now has 265 brake horsepower, as standard. The GTI also gets these new 90-inch alloy wheels. The style is called Queenstown. But you know what, if I had to name these wheels, I would have called them Alpha. I think we'll leave it there. And how's this for a right royal combo? Queenstown wheels and King's red paint. Now you can option a touring pack. For that you get a whole lot of extras, including a Harman Kardon audio system, a panoramic sunroof and leather. But you know what, for me and a GTI, nothing beats the tartan. The 12.9-inch touchscreen has been updated, so now it works faster with 30 different colour scheme options. And speaking of lighting, what refresh is complete without the lights being tickled up? The front and rear have both had the treatment. And the GTI gets the lit grille and badge, which is, well, lit. Well, the simple fact is the size of the car hasn't changed, so still plenty of room for a 6-footer in the back seats, legs and plenty of headroom. And a perfectly average luggage space, 381 litres and up to 1,237. I've had a few Golfs over the years, GTIs and Rs, and look, I'm a sucker for the grip and go of the R, but there's more romance to the GTI. I don't know, there's just some sort of appeal to a grunty front-wheel drive hatch. And that's the thing, for all the tech, it's the fact that fundamentally this is still what the Golf was 50 years ago. You know, even with the extra power, the GTI isn't the fastest hot hatch, the most powerful, it's not even close. But Volkswagen never meant it to be. You know, the whole arms race that's going on for the warm, the hot, the hyper hatches just isn't their focus. And that's the magic of the GTI. You see, it's just complete. Take the active suspension, which can firm things up for some Sunday twisties, or if you want, soften things up for your commute. But back to driving on the twisties, the GTI also has an E-LSD. And in case you're wondering, that's electronic limited slip differential. But it is a trip, especially exiting corners under power. The beauty of those psychedelic electronics is they can loosen up at just the right times. And that means you're never fighting the front end. It's always working for you. The active drive modes also allow you to free up the engine's acoustics. Now, once you've got the GTI fun out of your system, it could take a while, this car will return 8 litres per 100. And some old school trivia on that, that's 35 miles per gallon in the old measure, which means this Golf 8.5 GTI gets exactly the same fuel mileage as the original GTI. Happy 50th. That's the whole Golf phenomenon. That's why 37 million have been sold and why the format has never changed, especially when it comes to the GTI. You know, way back last century, a friend had a Mark II Golf GTI. It was the 16 valve version. Now and then, I was allowed to drive it. I loved that car. It was love at first sight. I wanted a GTI then, and I still want one now. Like I said earlier, this is not the fastest, the most extreme, the most hard-edged. It's not the hottest hatch, even in the Golf family. With the GTI, it remains the perfect car. It's so much fun to drive anywhere. And not just fun for me, fun for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're, gosh, a nana or a nightclub bouncer, a pop star or a politician. Anybody can drive a GTI. And here's the thing, you could pull up anywhere in this car, the opera, a rugby game, even the golf club, but it would always look like it belonged. Probably the best way to describe it is classy, but classless. That's the magic of the GTI. It's a damned hard trick to pull off, but the GTI does it. Yes, it's quick and fun, but it's understated performance. There's everyday practicality. It's compromise without being compromised. You know, my daughters remind me quite often, Dad, you don't know what cool is. And they're probably right, except when it comes to cars. Feel free to comment below. I'm going to say it. The GTI is still the coolest car in the world.